Welcome to Soul Care, a little time in your week to stop and think about your own needs and to take care of yourself. I don't know about you, but as I've been going through this COVID sheltering in place time, I've gone through some phases. First, I was very anxious. It seemed like I was dreaming about all these things like being afraid of touching things and being hauled off to strange hospitals and being in places that were uncomfortable. My husband and I seemed to be craving information. We had an insatiable hunger for the news at first and for looking up things on the internet to find out more and more information, as if it would somehow comfort us. Then we kind of relaxed into a period of hunkering down. That's kind of a new expression in this sheltering time. And it was good. It felt fun in a way. We were together more. Nobody was rushing off with some schedule or deadline to meet. And we spent time cooking together. I did some baking. I baked bread, which I hadn't done for a long time until the yeast ran out, and then I couldn't do that anymore. And I picked apricots and I made apricot jam. It was a good kind of homey feeling. But then I found that the boredom crept in. Every day was the same. Somebody said it was like perpetual Tuesday. And I think that's a pretty good analogy because Tuesday's just an ordinary day. It's not the beginning of the end. It's not the end of the week. It's not even at the hump of the week on Wednesday when you feel like you're on the home stretch. It's just Tuesday and every day's the same. And we would take walks around the block, and I found myself seeing that other people were doing all these projects, painting all the house rooms in their houses, or they were creating workplaces in their garages and making things, refinishing furniture and repairing cabinetry. And I'm thinking, we could not even put a car in our garage. It's so cluttered. It is completely messy with stuff that needs to be sorted and parted with. Stuff that I've just left there and I haven't gotten to. And I began to feel really bad about myself. This is one of the things that I can beat myself up about, that I haven't gotten around to cleaning the garage. It becomes kind of an obsession and it makes me really feel inadequate. Why am I not able to take care of this? I am so lucky. I have all the blessings in the world. I have my health. I have a relationship. I have income. I have all the blessings of life, truly. Compared to so many others who are suffering, I'm so blessed. And yet, I feel so bad about some things about myself. I'm hard on myself. Well, I've been thinking about compassion during this time, helping others, being compassionate to others who are not as lucky as I am. And I've also been thinking about self-compassion, taking a look at how I view myself. And I have decided that it's important to look at my own needs to take care of myself. And I think it's important for everyone to feel at peace with their soul. Self-compassion is about embracing two concepts at the same time: grace and truth. You can think of grace in one hand and truth in the other because you have them both. Grace is I'll tell you, I'll speak to you directly. You are unique. You are wonderful just the way you are. You are who God made you to be, and that is good. This is grace. It's unconditional love. It's the message that you need to listen to that says all is well, all will be well, and you're doing fine. You don't have to be perfect. For heaven's sakes, why do we think we have to be perfect? It's impossible. You are just fine. You are you. That's grace. And then there's truth. Now, truth is reality as we have it, day to day. It's often the things we cannot change, the things that we are simply given. And, you know, those things seem to overpower the grace often. They seem to be just so pressing. So when I think of that garage of mine, it's totally cluttered. That's the truth. It's there, and I can't help but see it every time I go into the garage and try to look for something and can't find it because everything's so messy. That's my truth. And yet, grace. The grace is, well, it's okay not to tackle the garage, for heaven's sakes, Heather. This is COVID. We're living with COVID right now, and you're not at your best. It's okay. And then the grace is balanced with the truth. And the truth is, there are some things in the garage that are especially hard for me to tackle. For example, there are the notes and the manuscripts and the books and papers of my dad, who was a professor and died in 2006. It's really hard for me to go through those things, and to get rid of them, impossible. Then there's grace that talks to me. Well, Heather, you'll do it when you feel up to it. Don't stress. It's okay. There's no set expectation here. And then the truth goes on, and is it just those papers in the garage that are bothering me? No, there's more. There are photos and keepsakes of my sons. My son, who died in 2001. It's been 19 years, but it's still very hard for me to look at those things, sort them, and get rid of them. That's the truth that I live with, and there's pain in that truth. But there's also grace that says, you know, Heather, it's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. You'll get to that someday when the time is right. When the time is right. You've been busy moving on in your life, moving forward and not looking back. And that's good. You don't have to be perfect, remember? You can be wounded, because we all are, and that's human. So be kind to yourself. Stop judging yourself. It's okay. And then, of course, I think of the gospel truth, and hold that in my hand too. Remember when the scribe came to Jesus asking, which commandment is the first of all? And Jesus answered, the first is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. I take that as my truth. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Those two little words, as yourself, those are easy to forget. We are to love one another as we love ourselves. I want to practice loving myself. I'll say this to you. Be gentle on yourself, especially now during COVID-19. Take care of yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too self-critical. Accept that you can do what you can do and not more. Just be in God's grace. Take a breath. Of course, you need to do the things you need to do. Those are the reality things that are in the balance here. You need to work. You need to take care of your children. You need to water the grass, for heaven's sakes. But you will do things for other people, because doing things for others out of compassion will give you joy. But also do some things for yourself, because you deserve it. Be compassionate to yourself when you fail to live up to the expectations you have set. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a second chance. Be compassionate to yourself when you are simply tired. Tell yourself what a trusted friend would say. Take a nap. Go for a walk. Have a good cry. Do what feels good. It's okay. You don't have to do everything now. You don't have to live up to all those expectations you set for yourself. Let them go. You'll feel better. Grace and truth. We hold them both. And I hope for you that you'll find a balance. And when the truth worries you and weighs you down, you'll lift up the grace and allow the grace to comfort you, to give you a break, to give you that deep breath, that time to relax and take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. You are in good hands. Take care of your soul.